Hi! It's been a little while since I did a vlog, like a sit-down vlog where I tell you a story. I don't really do story vlogs, but I'm gonna do one, and it's gonna be a bunch of stories, sort of experiences I've had doing community theater. If you know me, I do a lot of community theater now. I started in 2013, and I started actually doing acting and stuff in 5th grade. So 2010, I don't know, maybe 2009? I don't know, I can't keep my timeline straight, but I started doing community theater here in the area in 2013, and it started with a summer theater camp at a Black Box Theater that's near me, and I did that, and then the lady who was directing it asked me to come in and do Charlotte's Web, which the Black Box Theater was putting on, and they asked a bunch of actors from around the area to come in and act in it, and I was Templeton the Rat. So that was April 2013 that production ran, a couple weekends I think. So it's Charlotte's Web, so you have a bunch of kids, you have some teenagers, me, the guy playing Wilbur, and the girl playing Charlotte, the spider. And then you have some kids playing the geese and the sheep, and Fern and Avery, Fern and Avery are the kids. I don't know. You guys should know the story of Charlotte's Web. It's a well-known story. Then we had a couple of adults come in as the narrator and as the farmers and as the farmhand. This story that I'm going to tell you pertains to the farmhand. Black Box Theater, you're right up in front of the audience. The audience is only a few feet away from you because the stage is this high. This is the ground and this is the stage. It's basically how high the stage is. So you're really close, and the audience can see everything if they're at the right seats. And so there's this one scene towards the beginning of the show where Wilbur's the pig. Again, if you don't know the story of Charlotte's Web, seriously, you should know the story of Charlotte's Web. Has on a bib, and he has a little baby bottle. Fern is raising him. Fern is the little girl who takes care of the pig. And then usually that bib and baby bottle would go back onto the prop shelf backstage. But for some reason, it ended up in the slop bucket that time. The slop bucket was this bucket of literally slop that the farmhand actor would throw into a trough. And he's supposed to go through some of the items that are in the trough that he's putting in, apple cores, banana peels. I don't remember what was in there. And so the bib and the baby bottle were in that bucket when he went out on stage, and nobody knew that. And so I'm waiting backstage because I have to go on in a few scenes, and the little kids, the geese and the sheep, I think were sitting in chairs back there, and then there's one of the farmer guys is standing around waiting to go on, and then we're listening, and there's this one thin wall separating backstage from the stage, and so we can hear everything, and the audience could hear us if we laughed backstage or anything, so if you're really quiet. And so we're listening to the scene go on, and it's just a farmhand guy, and all of a sudden he's listing, oh well, here Wilbur's gonna have an apple core, and then he pauses and he's and a baby bottle, and everyone backstage just sort of freezes, and then we slowly look to the wall that's separating us from the stage. Meanwhile, farmhand guy's baby bottle, puts it back in the bucket, and baby bib, and he puts it back in the bucket. I'm staring at the wall oh my god, what happened? Oh my god, I'm gonna start laughing. And meanwhile, a bunch of the adults or whoever were backstage were just sort of looking at each other oh my god, he did not just, no. Back then, I thought it was a really nice save, because I'm pretty sure the audience could have seen into the bucket and been like, why is there a baby bottle and a bib there? So I thought, hey, it's a pretty good save, you know, improvising and all that. Now, as an older person with a little more acting experience, probably shouldn't have brought any attention to it at all. But, so we're just looking at the wall. The guy goes on with the scene, comes back around. I can't remember what happened, but I thought that was hilarious. I think I actually had to go into the green room to laugh for a second. It's just weird. That was really, it was a fun production. My first community theater production, like real community theater production. After that, I was friends with the actors and that, and one of them told me that I should audition for Fiddler on the Roof with him. And I did. I didn't get in. I think I know why I didn't get in. Picked a really bad song. I'm not gonna say what I sang, but let's just say it was in another production later that season that I got into. And that production that I got into a few months later was Music Man, which was my first musical experience and my first experience at the theater that I do stuff at now and that I'm currently doing Christmas Carol at, or working Christmas Carol. I'm gonna be running that after Thanksgiving. So, yeah. It's fun, ensemble member, dancing, stuff like that. And this story happened on a brush-up night. If you don't know, like, brush-up nights, you don't have to be in costume. We're running the show just to make sure everyone can keep it fresh in their mind before we have to run the show, like, for the whole weekend. So I was backstage. I went into the girls' dressing room because I needed water or something, and I usually have my water on the floor there next to my bag because I kept all my stuff in the girls' dressing room, even though we were not using it that night because no costumes. But the green room was mostly clear, and the green room connects to the girls' dressing room and the boys' dressing room, and then the door to the patio, and then backstage and all that. So I was walking out of the dressing room, and like the green room was mostly empty except for like a couple people, couple teenagers, and I'm walking out, and all of a sudden there's this one person who was just twerking. Don't know why, he's just twerking in my direction, and I'm like, why? And then they notice I'm there, and they're like, I'm so sorry, and like, this was like 2014, so I was like tiny, small. I was so small. I probably have a picture can throw up of one of my costumes, maybe. Probably the pouting picture. Probably picked the pouting picture. Very tiny. So small, so innocent, just twerking. And I think that was the same guy who almost gave me a lap dance. See, during that production, there was a lot of stuff that happened involving butts, twerking, and lap dances. You know what? It might not have been that guy. It might have been another guy. I don't remember, but the twerking story was funny. I don't know. I'm never going to get that image of blank twerking out of my head ever again. I'm scarred for life. Thank you, blank. So I can't really remember anything else from Music Man. No. Except for the time that I forgot that I was gonna go out on stage. Luckily that was during a rehearsal. It was because I was changing in a costume, and then one of the girls came in and was like, hey, where were you? And I'm like, what? What? And they're like, you were supposed to be on stage. We were like wondering if you were, and I'm like, oh shit. Oops. Needless to say, I was very embarrassed. Then I got into Oklahoma, and Oklahoma. I mean, it was eventually we got everything like down. It was great. We rocking it every night, yo. Damn, Oklahoma. Oh god. What can can I say about Oklahoma other than just Oklahoma? Fun times. That's one word to describe it. Yo. But in Oklahoma, a bunch of shenanigans happened involving baskets and cheeseburgers and wine and, on one night, underwear. There's this one actress who she had the biggest basket of all of us because that's her character's thing. Grady Cummins is the biggest picnic basket, and she put a bunch of cheeseburgers in the picnic basket, like 24 something like that. Like, it was a I don't know, it might not have been 24, it might have been more. It was an absurdly large number of cheeseburgers though. It was really funny. And some wine into the basket. That's how big her basket was. You could fit 2 bottles of wine and a bunch of cheeseburgers into the basket, and it was hilarious. But she has to take it out, so on stage at one point, and she took out a different basket. It was like during the dream sequence, she has the basket, and me and this older dude, who will play a part in the next story of this installment of Oklahoma Funny Things, she had a different basket out, and so we're just like, oh, you have another basket. What's this about? She'd like taken someone else's basket, I don't know. And later on in the show, she brings the basket on. She's not supposed to bring the basket on, but during that show, she crossed the stage and brought the basket over to the guy that was supposed to have her basket in the first place. And then we all just open it, and cheeseburgers, wine. We keep it away from the audience's view, but it was really funny. So I made a friend here in Oklahoma. His name is Austin, and he's kind of a loser. Hi Austin, I hope you subscribed. Me and this friend Austin, we would yuck it up backstage, and we had to wait in the wings to go on at one point. We were just waiting there, and I decided to open his basket because he's holding the basket, because the boys have to hold all the girls' baskets and the girls don't get none of that. So I open his basket and I'm like, hey, what's this? And I pull out this piece of fabric that is in his basket, and it's women's underwear. And so we're backstage, we're in the wings, so the audience could hear anything that happened in the wings, so I have to cover my mouth really quickly before I start dying of laughter. And then a couple of guys who were lined up beside us just started snickering, and then Austin turned out that the old guy from before, he put women's underwear in Austin's basket. I can't remember why, but I think it was an inside joke. It was an inside joke of sorts. And whatever happened to the underwear? Hey Austin, if you're watching this, tell me what happened to the underwear. I want to know what happened to the underwear. Alright, and this last installment of stories is more just a conglomeration of everything I can remember on the spot. What happened when I did tech crew for Spamalot. So doing tech crew for Spamalot, a show like Spamalot, if anything goes wrong on stage, you can immediately play it off. It's fine. That's just the kind of nonsensical weirdness that Spamalot is. So I'm gonna start with the one that I feel personally responsible for anyways, even though people were like, no, we could have. But no, I feel personally responsible for it, and I will continue to feel personally responsible for it till the end of time. So I had to help the guy playing Patsy, who is King Arthur's servant thing. Coconut. Oh, ow, that hurts. Coconut wielder. Yeah. Yeah, he's like, he was the mayor of Finland in the beginning of the show, but then he has to quick change into Patsy, and so I was helping with that, and so he would hang his stuff up on this giant wooden rabbit that gets used later in the show, and I would take his stuff off, take it off the hanger, get it ready to throw over his head, and I would put the hanger back on the rabbit, and I would forget that the hanger was there, so I'd take all of his like Finland clothes and I would put them on a chair in the green room and then go on with my track. But the hanger was on the rabbit multiple times during shows, and it went on stage, and it's like facing away from the audience, like the hanger side, but let's just say Lancelot was not pleased. Neither was Bedivere. Speaking of Bedivere, his mustache fell off one show. He had this super fake mustache that he puts on, and it fell off. What was the mustache's name? Nigel? Was it Nigel? I can't remember. That mustache fell off, and King Arthur ends up picking it up and just tucking it into Patsy's shirt. The audience is roaring with laughter. Everyone off the side of the stage is just like... Yeah, there was other stuff, like we had to get... Oh god, okay. There's that shrubbery in Act 2 of Spamalot that's a very important piece. It's a very important plot point. So the shrubbery is taken on by Dennis's mother. She has the shrubbery, and then she gives it to King Arthur and to Patsy. And they take the shrubbery, and they're supposed to take it around, like, they come off stage left, and then they go stage right, and then they've come on stage right. And someone, I think it was King Arthur, he gave the shrubbery to one of the other crew members, and it's not her fault, like, I guess it sounded like he said this, and she put it on the stage left, and so they had like a few seconds before they have to go on, and then Patsy just goes, "Where's the shrubbery?" And then Arthur's like, "Oh, I gave it to one of the stagehands." And so somebody realized it was on the other side of the stage, and so Patsy just sort of looks at me and he's like, "Can you get the shrubbery?" And I'm like, "What? Okay." And so I just take off to stage left, like run through packs of actors and grab the shrubbery and then dash back off, quietly screaming, "Shrubbery coming through! Shrubbery coming through!" Got there in time because I'm fast when I need to be, apparently. And shrubbery was on stage, it was all fine. And then one night during a brush up, I think it might have been during a brush up or something. I don't remember what exactly it was. It was something. But somehow the shrubbery had ended up on stage right, and it should have been on stage left. It wasn't needed, but like should have been on stage left. So I grabbed the shrubbery and run back to stage left and hand it to the guy. I'm like, "Here, you want this?" And he's just like, "Oh, thank you." And he goes on and does this shrubbery thing. And that's how I became the unofficial shrubbery wrangler. Okay, so I was like just editing this and I completely forgot about this story when I was filming. And I have to apologize beforehand, Maria. I'm so sorry, but I have to tell this story, and I have no idea if Maria is watching. She's probably not. But just gotta apologize beforehand, because okay. So there were these vines that some of the stagehands, one in particular, had to put up onto these castle walls during intermission. Like, everyone had to put trees up and sweep the stage a little bit and move set stuff for Act 2. And so there were these vines that go over the castle walls, and they were kept in like plastic bags, and so the plastic bags accidentally got left on the balcony that's like behind the castle walls, but like there's this little balcony thingy. Anyway, plastic bags were there. There's Act 2 starts, and somebody takes notice of the bags, and they're like, oh no, they're there! Oh no! So I end up having, like, I get asked to go up there and get the bags off. And so I have to go up there during a blackout, and the nearest blackout was after this one song that was sung by the leading lady, the Lady of the Lake. And it's between, like, it's my favorite scene in her song, and anyway, so I had to go up there with this guy playing Prince Herbert. Yeah, Prince Herbert, that was his name. And during the blackout, he runs onto the balcony, he throws me a bag, I grab another bag, and like I'm just in all black except for like some white stuff on my shoes, and I get a couple snickers from the audience, which made me kind of happy too, but yeah, just bag dash, throw them on, run down the stairs away from the balcony, and the show goes on as it's supposed to. It was kind of funny. It was much more funny like when it was happening. It was stressful, obviously, but it was a lot more funny like immediately after it happened. Those are my community theater stories. Probably will have more by the time this thing's done, because oh god. No, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great because I'm in it. Anyways, thank you for watching. I don't know, leave me a topic to talk about. Oh my gosh, someone tell me what to do. I want to use this more, but I don't have anything to talk about because nobody talks to me. I'm kidding, people talk to me, but yeah. So, anyways, bye.